everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm telling you, on this channel I talk about more than boxing, so stay tuned. I put up other videos, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta talk about Gary Russell Jr. You know, I have been a fan of Gary Russell Jr. I love his demeanor. I love how he's a serious guy. You could tell he was raised with respect, morals, integrity, things of that nature. I've always liked Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. is back. You know, even with his shoulder still a little messed up, even though he calling out people and talking trash to people. You know, he calling out Tank once again, saying Tank ain't this, Tank ain't that. I think we all see now that Tank is a protected fighter. That ain't too much gonna happen to Tank. Tank got a bulletproof vest around him. Leave Tank alone. Now, Gary Russell Jr., he lost his belt, you know, at 126 to Mark Macedo. Now the belt gone to another guy who beat Mark. Gary Russell sees Chris Colbert, and for some reason they get into an altercation. I don't know what about or what for. I thought they was, you know, talking about something in general, but it looked like Gary Russell, as usual, running his mouth, always saying something smart to somebody. You know, Chris Colbert standing there, and he go to saying he'll do this to Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert like, hey, a gym down the street. We can go right down the street. He say, oh, my arm is still messed up. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing. My arm's still messed up, but I could still smack somebody, though. Gary Russell Jr., instead of you out there picking arguments and bringing up old stuff that you did 10 years ago, you brought up at one point something that happened between you and Terrence Crawford. He comes into the spotlight every time running his mouth. And I got respect for Gary Russell Jr., but I get sick and tired of every time you see Gary Russell Jr., he on here running his mouth, ain't fighting nobody. See, that's why they didn't let you walk with that belt, in my opinion. You fight every 2 years. You give your fans and people who want to see you a fight every 2 years. The reason that, now I believe, yeah, you should have walked off with that belt. You should have left with that belt because you was the champion and get knocked down or nothing. But their WBC was probably so tired of you fighting every 2 years, they said, you know what, let's go and take this belt from Gary and get to somebody who's going to be active. I like Gary Russell Jr., but Gary, why are you sitting up there talking about you going to slap people and your arm ain't even right? Why are you sitting up there still calling out Tank, other fighters, but your arm ain't right? That's just don't make no sense. Wait till your arm right and then get out there and go to talking all that trash to people. Do that then. Right now, the public don't want to see the same Gary Russell we've been seeing doing all this. That's all we've been seeing from you, running your mouth. I did this to such and so years ago. Don't get starstruck. And by that, he mean punch people in their face. I like the Gary Russell Jr. I like the Russell. You know, shout out to them, you know, losing their father, you know what I'm saying? Respect to that. My condolences to the family. But come on, man. And another thing I got to say in this video, too, and which I said this, you know, about trainers. The Gary Russell brothers need another trainer. They just need another trainer, period. I'm not knocking nothing at their father. They had a great father, made their sons champions, brought them into boxing. They making good money. I can never say anything bad about that. But I see a lot of limits in the Gary Russell brothers. And by that, I mean they straight one-dimensional fighters, in my opinion. Even Antoine Gary Russell. And I believe that they need to let each other go and venture off into the hands of a real trainer. Somebody that's really been in the game, who really, I ain't saying their father haven't. I know their father used to box as well, from what I understand. But what I'm saying, get in there with a real trainer who been out there. You know what I'm saying? Like a Floyd Mayweather Sr. I'm not suggesting Floyd Mayweather Sr., but I'm saying somebody who been in the ring before, took a loss, been knocked down, no skill set, pedigree, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that the Gary Russell brothers don't, but I just see them as one-trick ponies. You see what I'm saying? They both fight the same. The only difference is the brother go in a little bit more. He more of an attacker, you know, offensive fighter. But I think they need to journey off and go and get a taste of a new train and try to find out, you know, bags of tricks and, you know, the fundamentals. Not saying they don't have the fundamentals, but when I see them fight, I don't see any major skill set in the Russell brothers. That's just my opinion. Other people have their opinion. Yeah, they fast-handed. Yeah, Gary Russell got fast hands. Yeah, he can box. I take nothing away from that. But what I'm saying is, as southpaw fighters, I always say that fighters are one-dimensional or limited, and I see that in them. That's just my opinion, and I would love for them, especially with the style of Antoine Russell, you know what I'm saying, to go out there and perfect boxing. You know what I'm saying? Not be like anybody else, I'm not saying it, but just perfect boxing, get his skills tighter. Even his brother was saying it was stuff that he lacked that he got to work on. It's stuff that Gary Russell Jr. lacked. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion of it. Gary Russell Jr., I am a fan. This is no way of bashing the Gary Russell video, but I'm tired of every time I turn on a boxing video and I see Gary Russell, he doing this. He gonna slap somebody, he punch somebody, he'll punch a fighter in their face. He don't play like, okay, Gary, we all understand that. We all understand. When are you gonna fight somebody? You got Shakur Stevenson. He said, you ain't call Shakur Stevenson yet. What's up with you? Good morning to you, World Combat Sports. I'm going in on one of my fighters I like, man. I got to talk about Gary Russell Jr. I'm tired of every time I see Gary Russell Jr., he talking about beating somebody up outside the ring, slapping somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how Chris Colbert he took it like a man, though. You know what I'm saying? And he handled it like a man, like a professional. You know, he was like, that ain't finna happen. Ain't nobody finna be doing none of that, slapping nobody and all this and that. But why even take it to that level is what I'm misunderstanding with Gary Russell Jr. Why every time we see you, we don't see you fight. We see you talking about Tank. You know they ain't gonna let you fight Tank. They won't even let Ryan Garcia fight Tank. Leave Tank alone. Go and pursue other fights. Move up to 130. Move up to 130. Make the fight with Chris Colbert a potential fight. Fight Shakur Stevenson before he moves up. Tank is out of your league. Tank is in another weight class, 135 up higher. Call out Shakur. That's a challenge. That's a challenge right there. Shakur Stevenson, before he moves up or decides to move up. You know what I'm saying? Give us something to speak of Gary Russell about in a positive manner. You know, he's done this over and over and over. He gets on there, gets the spotlight, and boom, he talks about somebody. I slapped this person. I'm going to slap this person. I'm going to do this to this person. Gary Russell, we want to see you in the ring, bro. That's all we want to see you in the ring. I want to see a rematch with you and Lomachenko. I want to see you go with 130, possible fight Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Please don't go back to 126. Ain't nothing left back for you. Don't reclaim that belt. Don't go back and get that belt. There's no point. You saying ain't nobody out there for you to fight. Ain't nobody at 126 for you to fight. Move up and go out here and show the world what Gary Russell can do. I believe in Gary Russell Jr. I like Gary Russell Jr., but to get on every time and we got to hear these tough guy talks and who he punched 10 years ago in the face and, now come on, Gary. Come on. Move up to 130. Give us some fights at 130. Give us some names. You know what I'm saying? You saying people ducking you, but I don't feel nobody ducking you. I feel like you ain't challenging yourself. I think you comfortable with running around at 126, getting your belt back and forth, or you going to stay there. Move up. Go challenge Shakur Stevenson. Go to 130. It's a lot of fights. Fight some fighters up there. You know what I'm saying? You got Valquez. You got, Valdez up there. Jamil Herring up there. It's some fights at 130. So I would love to see Gary Russell do that. That's just my opinion of it, y'all. Y'all know what to do if you want to show the channel some support. I thank y'all for coming in and watching this video. Also comment and let me know how you feel about this video. Like I said, I support the Russell brothers. Shout out to them. This is no way to bash them, but that's just what I feel about it, y'all. It's easy work boxing. I'm out.